Hey team, how you doing? The video you're about to see, I must apologize because I look very sleepy in that video. Why? Because I just woke up from a nap and I was sleeping when I shot it. So it's a Sunday, it's a Sunday. You nap on Sundays. That's what Sundays are for. And I napped. And then I woke up and shot that video, which you're about to see. So I apologize because I am talking a little slower than usual, but if you can get beyond that, the content is worth the pain and suffering of watching me talk really slow. So, yep, enjoy the video. Hey team, how you doing? In today's video, what I'm going to share with you is my experience with dieting in the 8 weeks that I've been doing the challenge, and some of the things that I have learned which have really worked for me in regards to putting on muscle while simultaneously staying lean, which fundamentally I guess means putting on lean muscle. So what I wanted to share with you first up is just some key things that can really make a difference with your diet, provided that you do them right, and it's very interesting because it's very easy to get these things wrong. You obviously have to experiment with them as you're using these tips, which I'm about to share with you. But if you get it right, then you're definitely going to reap some really good benefits. Okay, so basically, when you're putting your diet together, what I have come to understand is that there are two key things that are really important to be aware of, simply because it's so easy to get them wrong, and that is portion control and what I guess I'll call the gut factor. Okay, now portion control is basically what it sounds like. You have to make sure that every time you sit down to have a meal, everything is in the right portion. Now, if you haven't seen the last video that I did with dietitian Rachel, then go check that out now, because we cover that in depth. But basically, I'll just cover the basics of the portion control and the easiest way to do it. Now, a lot of people are recommended to do portion control by counting calories. And that is really a headache to try and do. Like, I tried doing that for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and it seriously did my head in, and so I just dropped it because it wasn't something that was sustainable. Whereas using your hand is, which is what Rachel recommends you do. So what I do is basically, like on your plate, you need to make sure that you have 3 things: protein, carbs, and good fats. And the way I make sure that everything is in portion is I just use my fist. So when I put carbs on my plate, it needs to be about the size of my fist. When I put protein on my plate, it needs to be either the size of my fist or my hand. It's the size of my fist if I'm eating red meat. That's the size of my hand if I'm eating white meat. White meat being chicken or fish. Now with the good fats, there's one thing that I've actually picked up, which is actually working really well, is I eat as much fat as I possibly can. So I butter everything up. I pour extra virgin olive oil, it has to be the right virgin olive oil, over my salad liberally. And I'll show you exactly how much portions I use for that. But the general rule is you normally go by the tip of your thumb. So if you're adding butter to your meal, then you just take the tip of your thumb. But what I normally do is I do like 2 or maybe even 3, and I'll explain why later. So that's portion control, and that's something that's very important for you to be aware of when you're eating, because it's so easy to go overboard with this. But I'm pretty sure that if you start implementing this yourself, then you will begin to get into the habit of getting the right portions on every plate that you have, probably in the second week of doing your diet. You know, like in your first week, because it's brand new, you're just kind of trying things out. But in the second week, you've pretty much got the whole thing noted down if you've been consistent with it. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to be careful of. The second thing you need to be careful of is gut factor. Now, for me, I guess this is closely related to portions, but the gut factor is like, I guess, the final security that ensures that you're not overeating or that you are overeating. Now, what the gut factor is basically saying to yourself, do I feel full? If you do feel full and if you're trying to lose weight, then you basically put the food down and you don't eat any more of it. If you are trying to put on weight, then you just keep eating until you're full. The reason why there's a difference between the two is because if you're like a really thin person, the biggest problem that you probably have in actually putting on weight is not training hard and lifting heavy weights, which is maybe what you think is the problem, but it's not. The real problem is that you're not actually eating enough food. And to make sure that you are eating enough food, you just go by how you feel in your gut. So even if you have a plate of food and you've got all your portions right, you use your fist to work out, you know, your portion of meat, your portion of protein, carbs, and good fats. You've eaten that whole plate, but you still don't feel full. You need to go get another plate. And even after your second plate, if you don't feel full, you need to get another plate. And you basically need to keep going until you're full. Now, I'm just saying this for the people who want to put on weight. For the people who want to lose weight, it's obviously the complete opposite. You know, if you're trying to lose weight, then you basically go until you feel fairly full. And I know it's a very simple thing, and it sounds like, I don't know, like it wouldn't work, or it sounds a bit silly in a way, but it really does work. In the 8 weeks that I've been training, it's something that I have had to condition myself into doing. Like last night, for example, I went out for Thai, and normally I would eat like the whole thing that we ordered, but because of the gut factor, I knew that I had had enough, and what I ended up eating was just half, well, not even that, probably like a third of what we actually ordered, and everything else had to get bagged for my next meal, which actually didn't turn out to be that bad, because that way I had another meal already prepared to go. But if I didn't have that awareness of the gut factor, then I would have just stuffed my face, simply because all that food was there. So you need to be aware of the gut factor. It's a very real thing, and if you start implementing it for weight loss or muscle gain, well, I shouldn't say muscle gain, I should say weight gain, then you would definitely start to see a difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you each of the meals that I have throughout the day, so you can see you know, how much I'm actually eating per meal. This might be kind of interesting to a lot of guys who are looking to try to gain weight. Like, I am eating enough for myself, but you might even look at it and think, okay, that's really nothing, Cody, or that's too much. But at least you'll see in the next video, what I'm eating. So I'm going to be recording each meal. I can't do it today because it's the afternoon, but I'll do it tomorrow. And yeah, I'll record each meal and you can see what I'm eating. Okay, so I get told off all the time because I tend to waffle on, so I think I've gone past my waffle on factor, which means I should stop right now. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, well, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, see ya. Alright, so just a quick edit. I was just editing the video just then, and I realized some of the stuff that I just said while I just woke up didn't really make sense. So I'm just going to quickly clear that up for you. What I meant by wanting to lose weight, you've got to, and sorry, with the gut factor, where that's involved, when I meant lose weight and eating till you feel full, I actually meant eating until you feel satisfied. So if feeling like eating to eating to your gut's full is your gut at 100% capacity, then where you want to be eating at is about 60 to 70% capacity if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to gain weight, then you want to go to about 90 to 100% capacity or feeling full. So losing weight, you want to feel satisfied. When you feel satisfied, you leave the food alone and you walk away. If you are trying to gain weight, you pretty much just stuff your face until you feel full. I mean, you don't want to go beyond. You don't want to, like binge and have that feeling that you get when you come home from Sizzler and you're like, oh, why did I eat so much? I shouldn't have had that last dessert. You don't want to be eating like that. You just want to be eating until you're full. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I'm waffling on again. All right, that's it for me. See you later.